Season 2 of Sakamoto Days is pretty good. I wasn't particularly excited about the second season after finishing the first, until I came across a clip of an old man opening a door in the literally coolest way possible while making noises like he's casting a spell to make everyone shit themselves. And I said fine, I'm gonna watch it. And it gets good. It gets real good once the main villain group actually starts doing something. So season 1 ended with some casino shit, I don't know what's going on with that, and it's probably not that important. But main thing is, these 4 criminals got introduced. They're hired by Santa's rogue reindeer to go after a bunch of assassins, including Sakamoto and friends. And I have to say, I did dip my toes into the manga a little, and Dumb looks so much better in the anime. In the manga, I thought Dumb had a penis. So these 4 have some crazy KD. Scary. And now we're in season 2. So Dumb's going around crossing off names on the list, Apart's cutting people apart, Minimalist can crush full-grown humans into stress balls, and Saw is just eating ass, performing his pre-game ritual. So the Order gets ordered to take care of these guys. And that is when we meet Old Man for the very first time. And on the outside, he may look like he needs help changing his diapers. But then, a fly starts annoying him a little too much, so he got up and took off half the vehicle. He even sliced off the walls there. Man just used a world-cutting slash. His name is Takamura, and you just know he's dangerous when he got everyone in that car sweating. Meanwhile, Shin and Lu are out shopping, and they come across Saw. So he pulls out his axe and swings at Shin immediately. Luckily, he's able to go into his inventory and spawns in a crowbar to block the blow. Now I'm gonna be honest, there's not a lot to this fight. Shin just basically finds out he's considered wet shit and is ranked lower than Lu on the hit list despite having literal superpowers. So the two run away for a bit and then the axe clips Shin's back. And Saw decides to blow up the place and Lu blocked the fire for Shin so her back's fried. And now it's up to Shin. So he locks the fuck in. No more pissing around, the coat's coming off. Dude tries to slice him but Shin stops his swing midway. And he decimates him with about 100 punches. So Shin unlocked the ability to see a few seconds into the future, ducks the blow, and Shin broke Sakamoto's no-killing rule here. At this point, this guy's gotta be dead, paralyzed, or a bit of both by the way his head just burst the ground open like that. That's at least gotta be stage 4 brain damage. So his ability is, if he locks in, he can read their subconscious thoughts, which will be able to tell him what his opponent's going to do a few seconds before it happens. So Shin runs in, right hand, straight to the jaw, follows it with a left uppercut, had him look at the stars above his head, and he kicks him in the body. He beat his ass so hard, man looks like he's about to start crying. But right as Shin's about to finish him off, his body overheats as he's not used to his new ability just yet. So the guy pulls him in, about to split his skull, until Lu appears and just straight up throws him away. So Lu somehow managed to get drunk amidst the chaos, and when she's drunk, she goes into a flow state, she goes Ultra Instinct. So Saw tries to wrap Lu up, but she catches the rope with her wrist and throws it back at him, and she hits him with a flying knee straight to the forehead. And she sat on him, Saw immediately came in his pants, and she stabs his arm, just cause she can. And he just starts begging for his life. Yeah, he's a fraudulent serial killer, his ass, a little stab wound, and now he's running away with his balls dangling between his legs. So Shin had to stop this man from embarrassing himself any further and snapped his spine in half. And that is it for death row inmate Saw. Yeah, so here's the footage of Osuragi eating just to cleanse your palate from that fraudulent dog barf killer. And alright, back to Shin and Lu. So the two fell asleep after tying Saw, oh shit. So Saw escaped. He gets into a taxi, threatens the driver to take him to the airport, but he runs into the big leagues. He meets Hill. Sucks to be the driver, guess he'll just tank a life sentence. So the two wake back up and are greeted by the JAA cleanup crew called Floaters, and they let them know that Saw is dead. He is so dead he makes a corpse look alive. Meanwhile, Osuragi's at his shrine, praying for her to be able to kill the death row inmates, and her prayer gets answered immediately as Dumb spawns in behind her with a spike and blasts it at her. And someone needs to be locked up for giving her that name. They're just doing her extremely dirty, you might as well just use her mouth as a urinal. It's also a major spoiler, cause I know for a fact, a character named Dump is most definitely not going to be sticking around for long. So Osuragi just stood there, blocked it with a 10 yen coin, Then as Dump's explaining to Osaragi how she's able to retract her spikes so she could wipe her butt, Osaragi suddenly appears behind her. She grabs her head, slams her face into a statue, got her cake pointing at the sky. That's how you know you're not in a fight, you're in a humiliation ritual. And she slams her face in one more time, claps her cheeks twice, makes sure she's still conscious, grabs her hair, jumps up and drives her head straight into a box. But Dump is pretty tanky, so she gets back up and spawns spikes out of her body, and she goes in on her. And she manages to catch Osaragi's briefcase with her attacks and throws it away. Osaragi shows visible dissatisfaction, and now she's forced to go on the defensive, so then she pulls down a bell and kicks it at her. And Dump did not take this attack lightly, she fucking flies through the building like she's been hit by a missile. So Osaragi made her way down, and Dump tries to catch her off guard with her titty spikes, and this time one of them does land, but only because she allowed it to. So she could go in, grab her hand, and have her kiss feet. And Dump is not very happy with this experience, despite getting a taste of Osaragi's feet for free. So Osaragi is evading all these blows with a blank face, ducks, comes up the other side, grabs the arm, throws her across, and kicks her in the face. But she's not done. She also has to go in with another jumping spin kick. Yeah, this is like straight up embarrassing. I feel degraded watching this. Actual hacker versus noob moment. And she's able to retrieve her briefcase, which is secretly a pocket dimension, because there's no way in hell that thing fits in that briefcase. So she goes in and just one-shots her. And that is it for Dump. A shitty name and an even shittier life. And then we learn that the reindeer and X, the main villain, weren't expecting these inmates to actually do anything to the Order. They were simply using them as bait to divert the Order's attention so they can proceed with their actual plan. However, Apart accidentally ends up in the reindeer's apartment because he can't see where the fuck he's going with that haircut and thought this whole place was his. And he accidentally hurt the whole thing. So he goes, fuck you, no one's taking advantage of me or manipulating me unless you're a hot big-titted mommy trying to breastfeed me. So he slices him up with his threads and goes on to do his own thing. Then we see Minimalist, and he's just pulling up to Sakamoto's place, and he runs into Sakamoto's wife. I'm looking for Sakamoto Taro. Nope, we don't have that here, you might want to look for that in a bigger store. So he breaks the counter, and he strangles her. And you might as well just sit in a tub and toss in a toaster if you're going to do that to Sakamoto's wife. But then, all of a sudden, she snaps his arm, grabs his hair, and sticks a knife into his neck. Turns out it's Nagumo all along, who Sakamoto has been sleeping with. Also, it's pretty crazy how Nagumo can just straight up shapeshift. How does that happen? Is that Raw Dog a witch? But it's pretty cool. And this guy isn't dead, cause Nagumo is just fucking around with a toy knife, and he teleports behind him, and Minimalist's soul leaves his body and his balls quiver in fear. Meanwhile, Heisuke is on top of a tower looking for the inmates, and he notices a wild apart, so he pulls out his huge ass gun out in public, and just shoots at the guy. But apart just stops it with the threads on his hand. So he goes, God fucking damn it, I should really consider changing weapons, cause how the shit does everyone keep grabbing these bullets? Luckily, it's still a long way before Apart could actually reach him. However, Heisuke was not familiar with Apart's game. He doesn't know that Apart's actually fucking Spider-Man. They call him a Peter Parker. Man swung up, broke through the glass, then he decapitates his weapon and locks that man up. But that is when the boogeyman pulls up in an elevator. He comes out and sends Apart flying. So earlier, Heisuke is able to send out a signal to Sakamoto for help. The signal being him trying to put a bullet in his chest. And obviously, Apart's not gonna get one-tapped, he's not a fraud like Saw, so he got back up and is ready to go. Meanwhile, Minimalist is fisting air, as this Nagumo guy just robbed him of his phone from his back pocket while dodging his punch, so he starts chucking metal balls at him, but then Nagumo just disappears. So he starts baby raging, he starts tearing up the place, he thinks Nagumo turned himself into a can of beer to hide from him, but Nagumo appears out of his reflection, grabs his neck, yanks him through the door, and he holds up this huge-ass man with one hand. Alright, let's see what we got here. Gum, car key, receipt for a fire-breathing dildo, and... wow, you really don't have anything. Yeah, you're just a massive waste of time. And then, he pulls out his weapon, and this looks sick. So it has 6 functions, and he tells him, pick a number, 1 to 6. But Minimalist refuses to cooperate on a simple task. He has been reduced to a toddler. He has no idea what's happening anymore. So he said, let's roll die instead. But oh, where'd it go? He slid it up his ass and out his mouth. Boom. Number 3. So he goes in with weapon number 3 and decapitates him with ease. Absolutely dog walked him. And thank God he killed him immediately as well and didn't fuck around until Minimalist trashed the entire store. W Nagumo. Meanwhile, Apart's fighting Sakamoto, but then something's off. He's not shrinking back to his prime self. So man actually just starts working out mid-fight, but is diagnosed with the infinite weight glitch. And unfortunately it's chronic. Then we learn that obese Moto is only at 30% of his strength compared to his prime. Also, Shin is still recovering with the help of Granny. She helps heal assassins. And when Sakamoto went there, she hit a pressure point, causing all this to happen. And she did it because she wants him to learn to adapt to his new body and accept his current self. So Sakamoto quickly slips his way out of the threads. Then he appears behind him and punches him into the elevator. Then some off-screen stuff happens and the two fall. And Sakamoto hits him with the "Get your dirty cum-coated threads off me, you piece of shit." Then the two land outside, and Apart goes, "Ah yes, this is getting fun. I've never connected with someone for this long before. Will you listen to my story?" "No, I'm good." Then we get Apart's backstory. He dragged us into an unskippable cutscene. There weren't any options for us to begin with, it was a bait. So as a child, he didn't have any friends, didn't fit in, he's different from others, and his mom, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her, but she just never talks to him. She acts like she can't see him, like Apart accidentally swallowed an invisibility potion that only works on her. So she's fake as shit, unlike those honkers, those are real as shit. And no, his dad didn't abandon him, he's simply busy with work. And Apart does have a good relationship with his dad, he's a great guy, the only person to ever really talk to him ever. Then his dad gives him an advice that will stick with Apart for a really long time. He says, "It doesn't matter who you are, no, it doesn't matter how you are on the outside. With people, it's about what's inside. If he's a kind and honest person, he'll be making lots of friends." Solid advice. So he tries to get along with the other kids, but these kids are a bunch of fucking assholes. Look at this fuck-ass kid on the left, look how happy and proud he is to be there. Look at him just standing there like, "Oh yeah, I'm so happy to be here to watch my friends throw a ball around." They're not even passing it to you, bitch. He's just asking to join in, and these guys are being fucking dickheads about it. So yeah, fuck these kids, and fuck this kid in particular. I hope he gets a shitty toy in his Happy Meals for the rest of his life. So he comes home, starts stabbing the doll his dad gave him. The mom sees her son slowly turning into a psychopath, and she said, "Whoa! Who left this door open here? Pretty sure I'm the only one home." So he tries again, but the kids keep being assholes, and eventually he ends up dissecting a cat. Yeah, so about the advice, we may be dealing with a slight case of miscommunication here. It was not meant to be taken literally, I think. So his dad comes home to this abomination and decides to take him to the hospital, gets his brain scanned, and the results came out normal. So the dad's like, "Oh hell no, so my son's a natural, he's just evil." So he starts panicking and gets scared of his own son. And Apart realizing his dad now sees him as a freak, responds in the most logical way possible by fucking killing him. Then he sees that his dad's insides look just like his, so that's why he kills people, so he can check their insides and see if they're the same as him, and that's how he connects with others. "Yeah, brutally murdering your dad is not ideal," Sakamoto replied. So Apart gets pissed and he slices off a quarter of a building. So the tower starts tipping over, Heisuke starts panicking, these kids think the place is transforming into a giant carnival ride, so they're having a blast. Okay, hold up. This kid having fun and smiling, understandable, he doesn't understand the circumstances he's in. But if we look over to the left side of the screen here, we'll see a grown-ass man having the time of his life. The fuck's up with him? So Sakamoto quickly jumps up, grabs the power line, and he didn't lose his weight, so he's able to use that weight to pull the entire tower back together. No, I think we should wait for round 2, that slide was sick. Then Apart gets up, wraps his threads around his head. But then, someone else pulls up to the scene. It's Takamura. He gets into his stance, unsheathes his katana, and he completely slices off the tower's base. Then he slides his katana back in, stands there menacingly, pisses himself, and walks back as the tower falls behind him. That's aura. Even Sakamoto felt it from all the way up here. So Takamura casually walks back into his cab, and not a single soul questions why does Gramps just casually have a katana out in public. Do they all think it's just a really cool cane? Like, wow, fuck yeah, hell yeah, Gramps, you got style. So Sakamoto uses this opportunity to escape the threads, catch Apart off guard with a crazy right, and he swings him up, teleports in, smacks him with a ladder. So Apart makes a whip, starts going in on him. But Sakamoto turns into Captain America real quick, hits him with a left kick, sends that man flying at the tower. But Sakamoto decides to save him because he believes he can change, and he decides to use him to stabilize the tower. And yeah, okay. I don't know if that's saving him. I feel like he would have taken less damage if he were to just fall right there. So Sakamoto takes that man home where he meets Lu, Shin, and Heisuke. And long story short, everyone accepts the part, they treat him like a normal person, he gets happy, hip hip hooray. Then they ask him for information on X, aka Slur. So our part goes, yeah, I have no idea what that is that like a band? However, he does know about Santa's rogue reindeer, so he tells them that when he went there, tore him up, he left his string in there, so he heard a conversation between Deerman and someone else. And he heard that their plan is to distract the Order and destroy the JAA, the Japan Animal Adoption Center. Pretty fucked up thing to do, so obviously X is a horrible person. So Sakamoto said, alright, let's go there. And this is where the show starts getting intense. This is where it begins to ramp up. So we see the two main antagonists pulling up to the JAA headquarters in their Batmobile. So Slayer pulls up with Gaku. They park their car nice and well, not just leaving it on the side of the road. They may be villains, but not assholes. So this guy asks for their IDs to enter the building. Nope, don't have those. Alright then, I'ma have to blow your head. That sounded unnecessarily inappropriate. I kill you. Gave him the Toji treatment. So the two walk through the front door. Immediately, one taps security. I mean, they stood no chance. Look how cool these guys are. So then the alarm goes off, and these guys are like, what the fuck's going on? There are two intruders. Two people. Okay, what are they gonna do? Steal a stapler from the front desk? They can't even make it past security, let alone to the 3rd floor. Not even 10 seconds after the announcement, Gaku's at the front door. So Gaku jumps in and annihilates everyone in that room in 1 second, one swing, one PNG. And as he walks out, he's greeted with bullets, but obviously Gaku's gonna stop them with ease. Then he speed blitzed them, takes off all their heads, purposely left this guy alive just so he could witness how cool that shit was. But then, some dude with a metal arm pulls up and punches him. Now it's only been 2 minutes since the intrusion, and 40 are dead. Then Gaku fires out some kind of explosive, man ate a fucking mouthful of it, gets up close to him, unbuckles his belt, shows off the hammer underneath his pants, and smacks him clean in the face with his warhammer. Sends that man flying to a whole nother building. Yeah, shit, sucks to be this guy. Imagine coming back to your car just to see a cracked windshield, a broken back window, and a dead body inside. Meanwhile, Slur's going up the elevator, and he gets greeted by 4 dudes, but one of them is his spy, so the 3 get a bullet planted into the back of their skulls. And this guy's Uda. I'm sorry you had to stay here for a whole year. No, don't be. I consider this a vacation compared to your workplace. Besides, they do pay me over here. So Slur's trying to rebuild the JAA. And then, Takamura shows up at the headquarters. Waddling his way to the front door, humming Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, he immediately takes out 2 goons, rips them apart like minifigures. And now we get to the good stuff. Gaku looks into the dark and he senses something. They made this man look like an absolute menace. They had him walk out of the dark like he's fucking Batman. And now we get to see what this Takamura guy can do against actual opponents. So Gaku instantly tries to flatten him, slams his hammer straight down. But he easily stops it with the handle of his katana. He unsheaths his blade and tears up the entire place. Gaku said goodbye to his 2 fingers and his ear. But he does not falter and immediately goes in with another attack. However, Takamura super speed jerks his katana and splits his hammer in half like it's a huge block of butter. Takamura doesn't even have his eyes opened. So Gaku said, no, this was not part of the deal. They got me fighting the final boss. I'm dead as shit. I need to get out of here now. Then Takamura goes in with another blow and he decimates the entire floor. He blew up the building with a katana. And just when you think old man couldn't get any cooler, Slur refers to him as the Phantom of the JAA. If that isn't badass, then I don't know what ass is bad. Then Sakamoto, Shin, and a part comes flying in. Shin gets ragdolled into a wall. And that's when we find out that Slur is Sakamoto's old friend. So Sakamoto's like, why the hell would you put a bounty on my head? Then Slur just goes in and stabs him. Shin tries to go in and help, but Uda appears behind him, and luckily a part is there, otherwise his brain would have tasted a bullet. However, what isn't there is a part's left arm. It's no longer here with us. GG. So Sakamoto kicks Uda away, saves Shin's ass, throws that man, same with a part. Now he's gotta 1v2 them, cause if these guys were to fight them, they would just straight up explode. So Sakamoto goes in, appears behind Slur, but Slur's pretty fast and he appears behind him. He flanked the flank. Slur lost his sense of direction. Then Sakamoto's pen shatters and he gets hit with a massive cut. Yeah, we're gonna need Slimmoto back. Then we learn that Slur's from the same assassin school as Sakamoto, and he's supposed to be dead cause Sakamoto apparently killed him before. Then Shin goes in with a right hand and gives the air a concussion, and he just shot himself. Don't know what the fuck Shin's doing. Clearly he saw Sakamoto getting clapped and for some reason the gears in his head just started turning and he went, yep, I'ma fuck this guy up. I mean, respect his massive balls, but that was not good. So Sakamoto had to go in and save him. And Slur, after seeing what Shin just did, thought that shit was so ass he should just kill himself. And Slur tells Sakamoto that he should kill him, otherwise he'll just keep killing others, and he threatens to kill his daughter. Now he fucked up. After saying this, Slur immediately felt the weight of Sakamoto's killing intent. Sakamoto instantly goes in with a right hand. Slur slips it, counters with a left. Sakamoto steps back and answers with his left. Throws at another straight right, gets blocked, stomps the ground, sending debris into the air, uses that as cover, evades the blow, appears behind him and lands a left kick, sends him flying. And he quickly follows it with another right. Then the two run in and fists are about to collide. But they're interrupted by Gaku kicking through the door. Unironically, Gaku might have just saved the world here. If their fists were to connect, it might just form a black hole. Oh, Gaku. Things were just getting fun. Our fists were about to have sex. Nope, don't give me that shit. How is it that nobody warned me about an unstoppable force taking the form of a senile bedwetting grandpa? Fuck's that about? Then old man sinks his katana through the door and he uses it to push down the handle. I just know Gramps been an aura farmer since his diaper era, cause in no world did he have to do all that. It is cool as shit though, could make any pair of nipples hard. And Slur's a dickhead for sending in Uda, cause even he was sweating when he heard that Takamura's here, like oh fuck, that man exists. So Uda goes in, fires out 2 shots at him, but those are just sharpening his blade. Then he quickly goes behind him, about to give him back shots, but old man's been dealing with back shots before Uda could even wipe his own ass. He sticks his katana behind him, stabbing through his pointer finger. That shit falls off, no more shooting. And he drives his katana straight into his neck. He got set up. And Gaku goes in for round 2, but Gramps had enough of his shit and takes off his right arm. And Gaku, after losing his jerking hand, says, "Who needs it?" And he turns around and kicks his own severed arm at him. Cracked his katana a little. I don't care how hard you're getting fingered. Kicking your own freshly severed arm at your opponent? That is some badass crazy shit. And he continues to run in. Gaku has not had enough, but Slur said, "Alright, calm down, buddy." And he just saved him from getting cut in half. So Gaku's like, "Yeah, boss, you might want to step in for this one." "Nope, I'm good." That is just completely fucked up. Earlier, he fucking sent in Uda without a second thought. He saw that guy walk through the door and he said, "Uda, go." He summoned him and threw him in like Megumi summoning Maharaga. Looks like he didn't find Uda's comment about his workplace very funny. So he grabs Gaku and said, "We're dipping." But Sakamoto gets in front of him and the two starts going in and Sakamoto's getting fried. But then, Takamura comes behind Slur, about to absolutely decimate him. However, Uda rose from the dead, grabs onto Oji-san's shoulder, and turns himself into a fucking bomb. Everything explodes. Luckily, Shin and a part gets covered by Sakamoto's sweaty apron, so they're chillin'. And of course, the man who looks like he's one massive sneeze away from a heart attack is still chillin'. He's just standing there after getting hit point blank by a human fucking bomb. Takamura's dad must have shot up some crazy dick juice into his mother for her to give birth to this demon. So yeah, in conclusion, Sakamoto, Shin, apart, live, so did Gaku and Slur. And Slur's name is actually Uzuki, Slur is just his gamer tag. Then these two leave, and Takamura is nowhere to be found. He appeared, started doing a bunch of cool shit, wet a lot of pants, damn near sliced up the building he works for, doesn't say a single word, just made noises, and is gone. That is pretty cold. Then Sakamoto gets hospitalized and Nagumo and Hyo visits him, so Sakamoto tells Nagumo about Slur, that he's Suzuki, and he somehow failed to kill him. So Hyo goes, alright, we got his name, we'll take it from here. But Sakamoto said, nah, I can't sit this one out. Let's exchange information, tell me everything the Order knows about Slur, and I'll do the same. But Hyo said, fuck no, you can't just do whatever you want, and he punches him through 3 walls. And he walks up to him and tells him he's a gooner, he can't hang with the big leagues anymore, he's gone soft. But Shin comes in, turns on the MRI machine, Sakamoto throws in some metal bars, and Hyo gets stuck. So he goes fine, he can't share information with outsiders, but he suggests looking into the JCC database. Then they leave, Hyo gets to go home with a free MRI machine, so that's pretty good, a very solid trip. After the invasion, the JAA is in absolute shambles. Their stock ate cow shit. No more bonus for Suragi. GG, terrible day. So Shishiba says, we gotta recruit more people. Meanwhile, Gaku got his arm and fingers back. Thank God he won't be fighting with 1 arm and 0 fucking fingers. Then we get more information on Takamura. And by more information, I mean no information, because no one has a single clue what's up with him. Aside from the fact that he is strong as shit and he has never lost a single fight. And Uzuki compares him to Santa Claus, which is really interesting because usually Santa's depicted as this fat bearded man, a home invading asshole, a man who steals your cookies and milk. So I wonder what kind of Santa he grew up with. So their next plan is to also recruit more people. And Sakamoto's store is back to normal, the floaters came in, used a time stone. So now what they need to do is go into the JCC, which is not easy. Then his wife finds a paper about the JCC entrance exam, giving them the idea to infiltrate the JCC as students. So the two get on a plane with a bunch of other students. So their first test begins. There are 360 applicants on the plane, and hidden among them are several undercover examiners. And each one has bullets inscribed with the letters JCC. So their job is to identify them and steal their bullets. So the test begins, and each one of them gets a random weapon dropped in front of them. And it just turns into a shitfest, like an explosive diarrhea. It is awful. Unluckily, this guy gets a knife, so his brain immediately tasted a bullet. This dude ran over a puppy in his past life, so he only gets a fork. This guy puts himself in a death chamber, so he stood no chance. Meanwhile, the SoundCloud rapper turned assassin Kill Baby gets the best weapon among them all, a fucking spatula. But he wasn't very grateful and he filed a complaint, so the flight attendant said, shut your bitch ass up. And Shin gets a knife, random guy tries to take him out, dodge, gets behind him, knife to the throat, and he knocks him out. Then there's this girl who gets a whole ass LMG, and she looks like she has no idea what the fuck she's doing. But that could not be further from the truth, cause it requires some serious accuracy and precision to miss every single bullet in a plane full of people. And Sakamoto gets a pen, so this guy comes in, thinks he's an easy target, but gets bent over immediately. Absolutely deserved. Clearly, Sakamoto's not an examiner, it's written on his shirt. So everyone's like, oh shit, that piece of bacon's pretty good, he must be an examiner. So first dude comes in with a knife, easily dodges that, stuns him with an uppercut, and finishes him with a left hand. Second guy, tries to give him back shots, redirects the gun, stabs the neck, grabs the bat from the third guy. This guy tries to shoot the girl, cause fuck it, he saw what Sakamoto did to those guys and thought this guy's probably also bulletproof. But Sakamoto comes in, throws his pen on the overhead bin, suitcase falls on him, runs in, grabs the gun, shatters it, and gave that man a concussion. And luckily that guy's an examiner, so Sakamoto gets himself 3 bullets, and the girl thanks him. She's like, yeah, you're an inspiration. My parents always told me that I could never be an assassin cause I'm so small and weak. But today I realized that even if you're obese, slamming McDonald's on the daily, averaging 2-digit steps a day, you could still be an amazing assassin. Meanwhile, the flight attendant is getting cooked by Mafuyu Seba, and he's going to kill her even after taking the bullets, but that's when Shin comes in. Get your hands off the hot flight attendant, you piece of shit, Shin yelled from the top of his lungs. And we learn that Seba is only 14 years old. Doesn't even have hair in his scrotum and he's already fucking people up. He's got more kills than armpit hairs. So he jumps in with his knife, damn near caught Shin lacking, and he pulls out his gun, starts firing at him. And a bullet grazed Shin and his blood splatter on him, and he starts tweaking. He hates getting his hands dirty, so he fights with 2 huge swords sticking out of his feet. Then he quickly jumps in. Shin almost loses half of his head. So Shin fires back, but he blocks all of it. Then he jumps out the other side. The two made eye contact, and Shin said, "Fuck all that no killing shit," just starts firing at him. But he starts breakdancing, blocking all the bullets, then the two clashes. Wow, that was pretty fucking sick. We gotta watch that back. So Seba comes in, Shin parries the first swing, music starts playing in Seba's imaginary earbuds, he starts dancing immediately. Shin evades the two swipes, goes in to slice off the leg. Seba pulls back and kicks him with the other leg, pushes it back, aims for the crotch, about to carry out his circumcision, but Seba kicks up, goes for his kick, Shin ducks, dodges back, about to go in for the stab. Seba says hell no, so he moves back, ducks the jump kick, and Seba also immediately follows it with a left. He flips back, and he's locked the fuck in, zero blinking. Seba spins back into another kick, Shin parries it, damn near got his gut spilling all over the floor, and he rolls back while dodging Seba's throwing knife. A lot of backs, but that was a really cool, amazing sequence. So Shin and Base can't stop this kid without losing a finger or two, so he goes Super Saiyan and pops his ult, and he starts beating the living manners into this kid. Then he starts his timer, cause he can only stay in this form for 5 minutes. So he pulls out his gun, starts shooting at him, avoids the slash, and kicks him in the body. Seba grabs his leg, thinking he got him, and he goes in with a left kick, but Seba fails to remember that he's not fighting an armless dummy. So Shin stops it and snaps his blade off. So Shin puts down the kid, takes his bullets, and Seba suddenly starts crying. He says, "No, I failed the exam, now I can't make connections and join the order." So Shin tells him that you don't need connections to join the order, you just gotta be strong as shit and hope the writer puts you in there. And he felt real bad for the kid, so he ended up giving him a bullet to the back of his skull. Meanwhile, this girl named Akira is getting a training lesson from Sakamoto, because Sakamoto saw she was using the gun earlier and it physically hurt him. He felt disgusted. So the two exchange names, and then we meet Kanaguri. He's a member of the Order, and he takes the cameraman never dies shit very seriously. So a bunch of people are going after him to get the bullets, but he just decapitates them with a clapperboard in an instant. So Kanaguri is extremely horny for movies, he loves everything about them, and he also makes his own. Then he runs into Shin and Seba, and Shin recognizes him because he's really popular. He's a director, screenwriter, casting director, cameraman, tree in the background, fucking basically everything. And his movies are the shit. Extremely realistic fights, amazing production, zero usage of CGI and editing, everything feels real, almost like the people are actually dying in these films. But Seba said fuck that, movies are cat piss. So Kanaguri gets real pissed and goes in for the kill. Shin immediately pops his ult, but the guy's able to change his movements midway into the future. Yeah, luckily Sakamoto came in time and saved Seba. Then Kanaguri suddenly came up with a brilliant idea for a scene for his movie. He steals their bullets, snipes one of the pilots. The plane goes into a nosedive, everyone starts floating, but it's still pretty boring, so he pulls out the big guns and blows the plane in half. Luckily for the examiners, they do come with a parachute, except for that guy, he was a bit too undercover. Kanaguri continues filming, then Sakamoto sucks in air, floats up like a balloon, kicks him, takes back his Mario coins. Then Sakamoto uses his apron as a parachute. Worked like a charm. So then Akira dug deep to find out what she's good at, and it's sewing. So she asks for everyone's shirts, they all immediately comply. Kill Baby decides to sneak in, bro thinks he's part of the team. So Akira sews all the clothes together at super speed, forming a Frankenstein parachute, just enough to slow them down so they all can survive the fall into the water. Yeah, looking at it again, they're going fast as shit. This is not slow, I don't know how they survived this. To be honest, if you're still descending that fast, you should just go with the most optimal route and reduce a little bit of weight. With that being said, Sakamoto, I'm sorry, I love Sakamoto, but yeah, he's gonna have to kick Kill Baby and kill him. He's gonna have to break the no killing rule, cause fuck Kill Baby, he's not even part of the team, he just snuck in. So yeah, that way we can ensure no one important dies. However, Akira's about to drown and die. She can't swim. Luckily, Sakamoto comes in, saves her, and he gives her one of the bullets. Earlier he did offer her one, but she didn't accept it. She said she didn't deserve it, but after that performance, she definitely deserves it, otherwise the series would have just ended right there. There wouldn't be any more Sakamoto, it would have just been days. Then he realizes that this is some incredible needlework, and it's crazy she's able to do all this mid-air. And yeah, there are 2 more episodes, but not a lot of stuff has happened over there just yet. I'm waiting for more shit to come out. Yeah, that is it.